So each month on this show, as many of you know, we bring you our special CMS Corner segment. This is the place where we chat with the movers and shakers in the world of portable 3D metrology. And usually our guests on the show are members of the executive committee of the Coordinate Metrology Society or vendors of the hardware, software, and peripherals seen at the group's annual convention, the CMSC. However, another important part of the society is made up of academia. Increasingly, as industry seeks the highly trained workforces of today and tomorrow, it's turning to universities, technical schools, and community colleges to help them fill in their employment opportunities. And one such institution is Fullerton Community College in Southern California, not that far away from right here. Nope. Later this year, the school will begin offering a metrology program to its students, one of only a handful of such programs across the country. So, to tell us more about this now, we're very pleased to welcome to the show Daniel O'Brien. He's the coordinator of Fullerton Community College's Machine Technology Department. Dan, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you guys doing?
We're doing just great. Thanks again for joining us today and telling us a little bit about this very interesting program. Dirk was just talking about kind of universal basic income and the idea that we want to kind of reskill these people and that we want to bring into industry. It's an important thing. And I understand that your program has actually been in the works for a couple of years, but what's been the impetus to actually launch it here in 2018?
Well, it has been in the works for 5 years. We are a traditional machine technology program. We teach everything from conventional machining to CNC setup, programming, operation. We also teach Mastercam, SurfCam, SolidWorks, traditional programming classes along with 5-axis machining and CNC Swiss. Well, one of the things that's really been crucial and has been expressed to us by our advisory committee is that the importance of the machinists in the business to be able to measure, because you have to be able to measure your parts to get feedback to adjust your CNC machines. But not only that, just the metrology field in general really needs people that have some experience in how to see datums, how to properly align and measure parts. And that's really with the advent of more technical digital measuring tools, CMMs, and your roller arms, it's becoming more and more of a need that people are educated in more of these technologies, along with knowing a little bit about your traditional skills and kind of putting everything together to be able to properly measure parts.
So how is this program supported both in terms of money and equipment and so forth?
Well, the program, we've been purchasing equipment and acquiring it over the last several years with some money that comes from the Carl Perkins Act. That's called the TIA funds here in the state of California. With that, we've added 12 roller arms with laser scanners. We've added a coordinate measuring machine. Also, California just recently got a $200 million grant known as the Strong Workforce Initiative. And that goes for the entire community college system, but it's really focused for career technical education programs. Well, we got a nice chunk of that, and so we're in the process of continuing to add additional metrology equipment, hand tools. We're going to teach everything from traditional measuring, which includes your micrometers, calipers, and bore gauges, everything that is really not going to go away, but also we're going to make sure we cover all the new technologies, digital laser scanning, roller arms, coordinate measuring machines, and whatever else comes into place within the industry.
And Dan, can you delve in a little bit more into kind of the more specifics about the kind of training that you're going to be providing to these students starting this year?
Sure. Well, the program that we have, it's a transcriptable certificate that will be offered. It's 29 units. It also will be eligible to, students can get an associate's in manufacturing with a focus on metrology. And it's going to focus on a lot of traditional blueprint reading, geometric dimension tolerancing. We have included in the program a basic intro machine shop class, along with manufacturing processes, technical math. So it's kind of a whole complete package. Along with that, of course, is a traditional metrology class, which will be kind of a general applications, everything related to metrology. And then we go into 3 additional classes that really focus on utilizing the roller arms, being able to measure, properly establish, measuring plans for parts, being able to program coordinate measuring machines, and use vision systems and whatever's required to really be able to do model-based inspection, which is really demanded these days by a lot of our local industries.
And what about after graduation? I mean, is Fullerton in some kind of feeder program into industry, or what kinds of opportunities can your graduates hope for?
Well, with our machine technology program, we have lots of local companies in this local area. They, on a regular basis, hire our students out of our program, and a lot of them go into medical manufacturing, aerospace manufacturing. We also have a training program specifically set up for Disneyland. We have Disney employees here on a regular basis. We have SpaceX here. Southern California is a very interesting area in that we have virtually every industry you can think of is here. We have a very large aerospace manufacturer. We have a lot of medical manufacturing happens here. So all these companies, they've kind of been driven to have additional inspection requirements in order to get their parts passed. Now, Southern California also has a lot of smaller job shops, so they have anywhere from 5 to 10 people. And a lot of these smaller companies that support the larger companies, they're all required to have dimensional metrology labs and have employees that are trained in these newer modern digital methods. And pretty much all of them are lacking a person that can do that. So, I mean, there are just jobs everywhere you could possibly think of for our students. Employers are really chomping at the bits to be able to hire students that have some sort of background and education in this prior, so they don't have to, burden of having to do the on-the-job training themselves.
And that was actually my next question as we're wrapping this one up. What are the benefits for the industry as you see them? I mean, what can the manufacturers look forward to getting when they hire these new graduates?
Well, they're going to get employees that already have some sort of background. We try to touch on a little bit of manufacturing, and we try to touch on, geometric tolerancing. So when they're hiring students out of our program, they're getting employees that already have a little bit of experience in measuring things. One of the exercises we plan to do in one of our later classes of the program is to actually give the students a series of parts, and some of the parts will be good, some of the parts will be bad. And it's going to be their job to develop an entire inspection plan, measure according to geometric tolerancing, and find the bad parts. And so we're really going to put them through real practical exercises that hopefully will transfer directly over to what they're going to be performing on the job.
Well, Dan O'Brien of Fullerton Community College, thanks again for joining us today on CMS Corner of Quality Digest Live. Really appreciate that information. Good work you're doing down there at Fullerton, and please keep it up.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, Dan. Thank you again.
Thanks, Dan.